Welcome back, guys. So it's been a phenomenal day. I've really enjoyed myself with all the talks, and we are now down to our final speaker of the day. But as they always say, last but not by no means least, this powerhouse of a lady, Jenni Harris. She's going to be now just tying everything together. And I think the ultimate thing, even one of our promos, I even said, the power of overcoming is her topic today. She's a business owner. She's a certified trainer of Feel the Fear training. And I think sometimes it's facing our fears and feeling the fears and facing them is massive for everyone. And they find it so difficult to really come to terms with, how do I really do this? So I know there'll be so much quality and value that Jenni's going to deliver here. Jenni does so many amazing things. And this is just scratching the surface of what she's about. And it just brings me so much joy to have Jenni here. Such a pleasure. So the stage is all yours, Jenni.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it has looked amazing today. I've seen some of the pictures. So I'm really, really grateful to be here. And anyone that's heard me speak before, I will always say thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, because time is our most precious commodity. And the fact that you've taken the time to be here, we are so grateful. So as Suman beautifully wrapped up for me, my name is Jenni Harris, and I just want to say a huge shout out to Suman for today. It has taken a lot of effort, energy and passion to put this event together. So Suman, thank you so much. So I'm going to be talking about the power of overcoming. And, I don't know about you, but I have definitely overcome some challenges in my life. But I want to ask you a question before we dive into things. I've got two questions actually that I want to ask you. So the first question is, how many times, now you don't have to answer me right now, so it's okay, but I want you to think about it. How many times have you wanted to do that thing and you've talked yourself out of it? How many times? It could be going for a promotion at work. It could be starting your own business. It could be, going on a training course. It could be absolutely anything. And then you've talked yourself out of it by saying, I'm not good enough. Who's going to listen to me? What have I got to say? It could be, I haven't got the skills, anything like that. If you've done that, I just want you to take it in, acknowledge it, and totally own it. Because by the end of this, I'm hoping that, I can't solve everything for you in 20 minutes. That's all the time we have today. But I can share with you some of the things that I've learned on my journey that have helped me. And they really are simple things. So let me tell you a little bit about me. And I'm actually going to share my screen, because I think sometimes the power of photographs really kind of helps us to get an idea of what someone is talking about. So I think I've done it. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. The fact that I've managed to share my screen. So what are you going to take away today? You're going to learn a little bit about me, my journey, how I've got here in this chair today. We're going to touch on what are sneaky fears. Yes, sneaky fears. That's what I call them. Sneaky fears are oh my gosh, I'm not even going to use the word, but you'll learn a little bit more about those. And then my top 3 tips that you can use today, right now, to help you on or begin that journey. So that's a picture of me, age 16. I've just left school. And, I look at that young woman, age 17, no idea what she really wants to do. And I wished I could have had a conversation with her, because that young lady you see standing there in those red pedal pushers, thinking, waiting for the world to open up to her, is totally full of fear. No idea where she wants to go, no idea what she wants to be. I was brought up by my mom. My mom was a single mom. I had 2 younger brothers. And my mom did the best she could. She was a first generation immigrant into the UK, and she did the best she could. But I knew at 16, 17 that I had to figure out this life. I didn't know what it held in front of me. I had no idea. But what I did know was I was terrified of everything. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I was too scared to go for it because I thought I would fail. And so because of that, I never took those steps. And I spent right up until the early part of my 20s not going for things because I was scared of failing. Yeah, I was scared. And I knew that I had to overcome that, but I didn't know how. So age 16, 17, there I am. The world is my oyster and I'm terrified. And I don't know what to do, but I do know that I need to figure it out. So age 22, that's me. I made a decision, as scared as I was, terrified as I was, that I would join the police. I didn't see anybody in an organisation that was out to protect us. There was nobody that looked like me. Nobody at all. There were women, but there were no black women. So and I'm not saying that there weren't any in policing at the time, but I didn't see any. So in 1988, I took the plunge and took my first steps into policing. And was it easy? No, it wasn't. It really wasn't an easy job at all. It was scary. So that kind of just heightened my fears. Am I good enough? Have I dealt with this right? All of those sneaky fears that had come into my life were still sitting there. And you might be thinking, well, you joined the police. You must have had some courage at some point. And yes, I did. But those moments of courage, when I knew I had to step out of my comfort zone, I did it, but I very quickly retreated back, full of fear all of the time. So anyway, I joined the police. There I was. And my maiden name was Mackenzie. So there I was, WPC Mackenzie, because that's how long ago it was, because we were called WPCs. We wore skirts and we were given handbags. I know, it is the most bizarre thing. But anyway, that's how it was. And that is me on, I think that was probably day 2. Because I think the first day when we got to police training school, we had our talks. And the next day, and that same day, they gave us our uniform to take home. And then the following day, we had to show up in our uniform. So I think that would have been, I'm going to scare you with my age, but that date would have been possibly the 19th or 20th of July, 1988. So I got all these great ideas of all the things I wanted to do, but then those big, great ideas would come very quickly by that inner voice, that sneaky fear, talking me out of the things that I wanted to do. And that's a picture of me having just had my first child. I was a new mom, I was a police officer, and I arrived at the grand old age of 32, and I was still scared. I was scared of how was I going to be a mom. I had no idea. None of my friends had children. Oh, well, that's not true. I had one friend who had children, but other than that, I had no blueprint to follow. And any of you that are here that have become a parent for the first time, you will know how scary that is. That every little breath, every little cough, everything is a really scary time. However, I overcome that, and I had a second child. So that's a little bit about me. I am married with 2 children. I've been married for 24 years this year, having met and married my husband after 4 months. And even that was scary, because 2 weeks in, yes, I know, only 2 weeks in, I was terrified of where this relationship was going to go. Then I was really scared of where it might not go. So I actually tried to end our relationship. Yeah, I know. It's crazy to me. But my husband, anybody who knows him, knows that he's a very strong character. He might seem very quiet, but he's a very strong character. And he said to me, this is our relationship and you are not going to end it because you're scared. That's all it needed. So I married him. So when we talk about sneaky fears, I'm going to just put all these on the screen for you right now. Are you one of those, we're not pointing any fingers, I just want you to think about it. Do you procrastinate about things? You want to do something, but then you talk yourself out of it. You want to go for that job, but then you don't want that job. You're scared of success, but you're equally more so scared of failure. You struggle to make decisions. That word, I can't is always in your head. It's, you get offered an opportunity, you turn it down because you've talked yourself out of it. And I asked you the first question, but here's another question. How many times have you allowed somebody who's close to you to talk you out of doing something? So you've decided you'd like to try something, do something for the first time, you want to go and try something out, but you're scared. So you share it with somebody that's close to you. And guess what? They just validate your fears. They talk you out of it. So within no time at all, that great idea or that thing that you wanted to do, it's now put on the back burner. Or even worse, you've binned the idea altogether. Again, I don't want anyone to answer. I just want you to think about these things, because these are all sneaky little fears. And, for me, I call sneaky fears those fears that stop you. It's just another way to say keeping you in your comfort zone. And it's not even a comfortable place, is it? Because nothing grows in that comfort zone. It's actually called, or I'd like to call it, the frustration zone. Because a lot of the time when we are too scared to do that thing that we really, really want to do, and then we retreat back into that space, we're actually frustrated. It doesn't make us happy because you're thinking about that thing, but then you're too scared to do it. And then do you know what happens? You actually fail by default. You fail because you didn't even try. And that has got to be painful. I know I've done it. And I'm sitting here talking to you about fear when I've been full of fear, and it's taken a really long time. In fact, it took me till around 2003 when I was actually on a course at work. I had wanted to do my sergeant's exams, taught myself out of it, wanted to do it, taught myself out. So I had this dance that I was doing myself for years because I was scared. I was scared of failing the exam. Then I was scared of, if passing, people would say, who does she think she is? And scared that I would then, if I got the job being a sergeant, I couldn't do it. It was just this dance that I was doing in my head. And, and sneaky fears, they come into your head and they don't go in one ear and out the other. You don't hear these things that make you scared and then they float out the other side. No. They get into your head and they build their own house within your head. They just refuse to leave. And the only way that you can get them to leave is that you have to start to rewire your own brain, rewire your thought process, and really work on your mindset. So 2003, I go on this course and I'm sat there with about 10 to 11 other people, and they're going around the room and we're actually talking about fears and what are you scared of doing? What's that thing that you really want to do that you're afraid to do? And I had the courage, after listening to everybody else, because that thing when someone says, oh, tell us about it, that my stomach knotted, I felt sick, thought, how am I going to say this? Because they're going to think I'm weak, or, worse still, they're going to think I'm not good enough. So they're just going to validate my fears for me. So I said it. I got over myself and I said it. And I'll never forget this man. His name was Ray Powell. And he said to me, what is the worst thing that can happen? And I was stunned. And he said it again. Jenni, what is the worst thing that can happen? And I have to say, I sat there and, I swallowed just like I did now, because it's bringing those memories back. And I didn't know what to say, because I couldn't say, oh, I might die, because I wouldn't. And that's the worst thing that could happen. So it was like, oh, ping, light bulb moment. The worst thing that could happen to me if I took the exam and I failed it was I'd do it again. And it took somebody outside of me to say that, because I probably had that conversation with myself a million times, but I didn't hear myself. So sometimes, you know, we on this path and we're doing these things, we're reading all the books, we're doing all this stuff, but sometimes we need an outside person to help us put things into perspective. So there are sneaky fears creeping in, sabotaging everything that we want to do. So my top three put my teeth in. My top 3 tips that you can do right now. I've touched on one: rewire your brain. You know, and when someone first said that to me, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just the way I am. This is how I am. This is what you know, how I show up. This is me. What on earth are you talking about? I'm not going to go into the science behind it all, but what I did learn was those pathways in your brain, you can create new ones. There's those negative pathways that keep telling you and repeating that story to you over and over again. You can rewrite and tell yourself a new story. So I was so excited when I found out about that. So how do you do it? There are loads and loads and loads of personal development books out there. There are loads of opportunities like this to come onto, virtual events, or even go to face-to-face events when the world reopens again. There are podcasts, there are videos, there are YouTube. There is so much content out there. The hard part is finding the things that you like and then staying consistent, because this is not something you can do in a day, a week, a month, 6 months. This is something that you have to do every single day. So what I do is I will listen to something, whether it's a podcast, an audio book. I've got loads of books on my Audible that I can tap into, and the minimum you should be doing is 10 minutes a day. So you either read 10 pages of a book, if you like the physical aspect of 10 pages of the book, read a book, or watch a video, listen to a podcast, listen to something, but do it for, if you're listening or listening or watching, do it for at least 10 minutes. Just mark the time. At least 10 minutes. If you're reading a book, then at least 10 pages. Do that every single day and watch the difference. Watch how you start to think and feel differently. The other thing that I swear by is do one thing every day that scares you. Now, I'm not talking about going skydiving or looking for the biggest spider. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that little thing that is going to take you one step closer to where you want to be, one step closer to that person you want to become, one step closer to that it might be an event, whatever it is. Do one thing every day. Aim to be, and this is one of what I live by this, aim to be 1% better than you were yesterday. That's it. So it's not a huge amount. I'm not saying do 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes of stuff a day. Just aim to be 1% better than you were yesterday. And then the last thing, which sounds really bizarre, but I shared this on a webinar I did about 4 weeks ago, and it's breathe. A lot of us breathe from here, which is why we hyperventilate and get anxiety and panic attacks. We need to breathe right from your stomach. Now, that can be a challenge because most of us spend our time holding our stomachs in. I'm not saying anybody on this call, on this webinar, I'm just talking about in general, that we're holding our stomachs in. We need to breathe, big breath in, push our stomachs out. That's my son trying to call me. Push our stomachs out and hold our breath for 4 seconds, and then do it again. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, but hold that breath when you breathe it in through your nose. Hold it for 4 seconds, push your stomach out, and then let that breath out through your mouth. That's it. Those 3 simple things that you can do every single day, look at the time, could be the difference between how you feel, that fear that's eating away at you, and how you can move on and progress and be 1% better. So I've got an offer for you today, and it is exclusive to you guys here. It's a Success Summit offer. At the beginning, I didn't go into it because I'm very much conscious of the time. But as Suma said at the beginning, I am a certified Feel the Fear trainer. If any of you have read this book, you will know the tools and strategies that are in it. I'm hosting my first, oh my goodness, I'm so excited, my first face-to-face event on the 27th of June. It's at the Hilton Hotel in Coventry, so I've chosen a beautiful venue. It's absolutely gorgeous. Everything is included on the day. It's a whole day workshop, and the offer for you, it's normally £169. The summit offer for you until midnight on Sunday is £129. You might want to take a picture of the screenshot that, save it, because you might be looking at some other things. But, you know, and if you bring a friend, you'll save even more money. So that's the QR code. If you hold your phone up, you can take a picture of the QR code. So you go to your camera, hold it up, and that will take you through to the link so you can go save your seat. However, if you are procrastinating or struggling about making a decision or feeling a little bit fearful because you don't know enough about me yet to decide whether you want to part with that amount of money, why don't you book a free 30-minute discovery call? Again, I'm all about technology. Hold your phone up. You literally hold your phone up like this, go into your camera, hold it up over the QR code, and it will give you the link to my calendar to book your free 30-minute discovery call. I have set aside some time specifically for this event to take you right up until Sunday so that you can book that call, have that conversation. Let's see if it's the Feel the Fear workshop could be that start. You know, I said when I first had that conversation, when someone first said to me, what's the worst that could happen? That was sat on a course, in a workshop, and it could be that thing that makes the difference. So book a free 30-minute discovery call to discover if this is for you. So I've got to the end. I'm very conscious of the time. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to stay connected to you. Again, there's my link tree if you want to take a picture of it, or if you want to hold the camera up, it'll take you through to my link tree, and you can connect with me on there. There's LinkedIn and all my other platforms that you can connect with me on. I'm not sure if my email is on there, but if you wanted to email me, if you didn't want to book a discovery call and you wanted to email me, you can email me at jenni.harris, and it's Jenni with an I, so jenni.harris@feelthefeartraining.com. So that's jenni.harris@feelthefeartraining.com. That offer is exclusive to you guys, available until midnight on Sunday, and I would love to see some of you at the workshop, because I promise you it will make a huge difference to your life. And it also comes with this, I bet you're going to love hearing this, comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. And we have some bonuses as well. So there's a lot of stuff that comes with that package. There's an aftercare package after the course. It's not just a one-day thing and that's the end of it. There is an aftercare package, and you get to spend a lot of time with me. So thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful. Thank you, Suman, for all the effort and energy you put into this. And I'm super grateful, and I look forward to seeing some of you soon.
That's amazing, Jenni. So the last round of applause for today for yourself, Jenni. That was amazing. Made loads of notes there, and so many like key things that we forget, like breathe correctly from the correct space. And you know, we hear this stuff and it's like, but I am breathing, but there's so many of us that do shallow breathing and don't breathe correctly. Yeah. And the reason why we've been created miraculously, haven't we? We have breath for life because we're supposed to breathe a little bit more with this deep breath. And that's why breathing and meditation and focusing on your breathing when you meditate is very powerful. And these were so much amazing things. And again, you just scratched the surface with your story, because I know that time was very limited today. But what an amazing journey you've been on, an amazing offer that you've got for everybody as well. So I'm so excited about, you know, seeing that and being able to do live events again. You know, guys, you know, come on, we all want this, we all miss this. So do definitely take Jenni up on the offer. And what I'll do is, because I know that there's quite a few people who have registered and they couldn't make every single session, I'll make sure the links are made available to everybody. I'll do it tomorrow, fingers crossed, so that everybody has.
Sorry, I also forgot to add that there is a payment plan. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know how I can stretch that because there's other things I want to do as well, there is a payment plan. So that is available to you guys too.
That's really generous of you, Jenny. So I'm really excited for you because I know the last time there was an event you was going to be doing about a year or so ago. And then obviously things have all been up and down for everybody, as you know, with my events. So I really rate you for everything that you've been doing and everything that you stand for and what you represent is amazing. And thank you so much for being a part of today's event. So I know I need to wrap up in the last session now. So do connect with Jenny. She's given her all the connection links of where you can connect with her and those amazing QR codes. Well done, Jenny. And yeah, I will see you guys now in the last session, just to wrap up and give all the final acknowledgements. So join me over there now. And thank you so much for everybody who's joined the session so far. And there's been a few faces I've seen in the sessions that you've been here for the whole day. So I really, really salute you. And I'll see you guys in the final session.
Take care.